My dad on the Great Recession. So first off, what is your name?
Corey Combs,
Where are you from?
born and raised in Michigan.
How old were you in 2009?
43.
What do you remember about your financial life before the Great Recession?
Things were much easier. We spent a little bit more money than what we probably had and should have, but we were a lot more comfortable.
Were you ever worried about the economy before the Great Recession?
No, it wasn't even much of a thought at that point.
Okay. How did you learn about the Great Recession?
It was over a period of time, over a period of days and weeks at that point, watching the news, reading the paper, the internet, and we kept hearing more and more hardship, and then that's when it hit. And it hit everyone from upper middle to middle class, especially the lower class, financially.
What financial hardships did you encounter with?
We definitely did not have the liquid asset that we normally had on a regular basis. So we had to crunch the numbers much quicker between your mom and I to make sure that we could afford the things that we were doing. So we had to curb our spending appetite.
What do you think of President George W. Bush and the Congress reaction to the Great Recession?
The reaction wasn't swift. It was slow because some of the policies that were put in place at that time were to help businesses, specifically larger businesses, to make money, to try to create more jobs. The problem is there were too many people that were a little too greedy in this time frame, and his response is that he didn't know how to get out of it as quickly as he had wanted to or should have. So I think he dragged his feet. Congress dragged his feet, and that was Republicans and Democrats. Everyone dragged their feet a little too long, and then unfortunately we got into a deeper recession.
Okay. What do you think about President Barack Obama and the Congress?
Once again, I think he was elected into a situation that this was a burden that was placed on him. Unfortunately, he did not have the capability to rectify the situation, except the same way George Bush wasn't able to rectify the situation. So they were both at a disadvantage because what they didn't want to do is cause more problems. Unfortunately, not reacting quick enough and doing it the right way caused more problems. So there really isn't a right way or wrong way of doing it. We were already going down that path. Nothing was going to change it. We just needed to be able to get out of it as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, a lot of people, including us and many people that you know in Huntington Woods, family members as well, lost a lot of money in their IRAs and stocks.
Do you think that the recession or depressions can be prevented? Why or why not?
Yeah, every single one can be prevented. The problem is greed. It's one of those movies, I don't remember Wall Street. Greed is good. Greed is good, but not when it takes advantage of other individuals. And it could be prevented if we had more of a system that was not necessarily capitalism, but maybe a kind of a combination of capitalism and socialism at the same time. And that's actually one of the candidates that was running for president this time, which was Bernie Sanders. That's kind of what he was running on. And I think a situation like that could help our economy for the future and the economy for the now.
How has the Great Recession changed you?
It's made me more aware of how fragile our society is. Meaning that because of the differences in the class and the upper class, middle class, lower class, there is only a select few of upper class, meaning the wealthy. They don't want to give that up. And I understand, but they want it to trickle down.
What lessons should be learned from the Great Recession?
What lessons should be learned? to be more aware of your surroundings. If it's too good to be true, it is. Be more conscious of going back to the last question of the greed, of making sure that just because you want it doesn't mean you should have it. We need to work for everything that we get.
All right, thank you for letting me interview you.
My pleasure.